Well, I like it tighter.
All right, everyone. Could the Mets be adding another piece to their 1-2 punch? How do we feel about Francisco Lindor coming into the next season? We'll also give you our Game 7 win or go home lineups. We'll also talk about how Frank About Sports paid off Chili Davis to ruin Michael Conforto. Welcome to the Mets Weekly Roundtable.
This is Frank Cugino from Frank About Sports.
What's going on, guys? Andrew Acevedo back.
What's going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden is the name.
What is going on, everybody? This is Metsfan from YouTube.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm TonyMetro.
Big Apple Banter Media here with Elias. That's weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Welcome to Mets Weekly. All right, we'll start with Andrew Acevedo. You can introduce yourself and say hi to people that you want to say hi to.
What's going on, guys? Dropped my top 10 shortstops, in my opinion. Again, keywords being my opinion. That got everybody all pissed off. But again, uploaded that. Am going to upload a Jeff Carter contract extension video probably tomorrow. Rhino Hour maybe this weekend. And again, more top 10s. The prospect stuff is coming. Trust me, I didn't kill that off. It's just kind of just a little funk that I need to get out of. But yeah, let's see how this tonight goes.
All right, Frank About Sports.
Yep, Frank About Sports, as you see on the channel. I did a video the other day about Big Papi going to the Hall of Fame. If the Knicks make a trade deadline move, then I'll probably do a video on that, unless something happens with baseball. But other than that, not too much going on right now in sports with football about to close out. So hopefully we have some other stuff soon.
Well, hockey doesn't exist?
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. No one cares about hockey.
Yeah. There's only one team that matters in hockey, and they're in New York. TonyMetro.
Yeah, the Islanders are the only New York team in hockey.
Yikes. Can't hear you from down there in the bottom of the metro.
Anyway, my baseball, or my channel, as you guys know, is all about baseball. But right now I'm working on a top 5 starting pitchers in baseball. Kind of got inspired by a tweet about me wanting to take both DeGrom and Scherzer on 3 days rest over Garrett Cole on full rest. So that kind of sparked the big controversy on Twitter. So going to be giving my top 5 pitchers. That's the next video coming out.
All right, last but not least, Mets Talk with Hayden.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden is the name. Please feel free to check me out. Doing a lot of live streams and that stuff, videos on news, predictions, all that great stuff with what's going on pertaining to the Mets. I know with the lockout, it's been a little annoying, not really much to talk about, but hey, the time will come, and LFGM.
All right, well, before we start, y'all know the drill. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. Turn on those post notifications to never miss a live show that you're seeing right now. Also, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, follow all of us individually. All those links are in the description. So I think we're going to start with something that's most likely going to be our opening segment until it is resolved. The MLB and MLBPA negotiations. I'll let anybody say their piece with anything they want to just get out about what's going on. And, nice. And we'll just go from there. So if there's any updates that anybody's seen, I have not really been paying attention today. So if there's any updates, I saw something about progress. Andrew, I know you kind of keep an eye on some of this stuff. But
I mean, no, again, I think the minimum they were fighting over, what's the league min from 500K to 600K. But everything, and they had their meeting on Monday when they went, everybody's like, oh God, they're having a meeting on Tuesday. Stuff's getting happen. And then they just, again, nothing's happening. Nothing's going to get done until at minimum the end of February. So we're still in a long – it's going to be the financial stuff. It's not going to be like, the DH and all that kind of like that stuff can get done. It's going to be we want part of, it's going to be the money and the financial. So that's going to hold everything up. Don't expect anything for another 2 to 3 weeks. And just watch hockey.
Anything else we want to add? If not, we can get to I mean,
It's just unfortunate. It feels like a continuation of 2020, which we had to think was coming, that after all those bad negotiations happened with money, that the same thing was going to happen this year, because it still comes down to money, whether it's 2020, 2022, 2078, when I'll be like 300 years old, they're still going to be arguing over money. So, I mean, this is just a common thing in the sport. And it stinks for all of us as fans that this keeps getting held up because of money. And I understand why. Like, I get where they're going, as in the big guys like Scherzer, they're topping other guys' contracts, but the lower end guys, as baseball is getting more revenue, whether it's TV sharing or things like that, the other players, the lower level guys, are taking the penalty for it. And then Andrew talked about, DH, all this other stuff that they have to work out. The big thing they got to decide is there going to be a salary cap? Is the luxury tax going to be moved around at all? Are you going to implement a salary floor? Are you going to punish tanking teams? Like, those are the pressing issues. I mean, that is what is hurting the product, because you're going to find yourself in a situation where there are way too many games where a team is going to go up against a team that's just not competing. And it really just hurts the brand of baseball. And you're like, what are we watching here? If you have teams that year in, year out don't get better, and it's not like football or basketball where you could lose the season, get a number one pick that's a generational guy, and automatically change your team the following year. A lot of times when you draft a guy, it takes a couple years before they could even make an impact. And baseball is such a team sport that even that one generational guy can't make that much of an impact on your team. So you're going to see, whether it's the Rockies or the Diamondbacks or all these other teams, be bad for so long, and they're not spending money to show that they want to improve. It's just such a bad look for the sport.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna actually try and figure out here. I mean, we saw some progress, which is good progress, but you have so much that you have to resolve that. I mean, I don't know. Again, like we've said this before, I just don't know how you're going to make it all better. Like, you have so many problems that you have to resolve right now, and we'll see what they do. If anybody else wants to add anything, again, this is just opening it up with any current stuff, anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was something like 50% of players in the major leagues last year were making the league minimum. Like, obviously, there's a huge disparity in the earning power of these guys. And so, it makes sense for them to be able to bump up the minimum for those guys. And potentially, I know it was rejected, but the idea of age-eligible free agency was something that I thought would be a good idea, because baseball is so different from basketball or the NFL, where these players are instantly almost able to compete in the league and earn a contract, whereas a baseball player drafted out of high school or college, it could take upward of 6 years for them to finally make it in the big leagues, and then they're under team control for a number of years after that. So there's definitely a lot of things to still be decided between the players union and the league, and just hoping that it's not going to delay the season. Just hoping we're not going to miss out on games. And it's not looking so great in that case. But that just fingers crossed.
I mean, and one thing I am looking forward to, because maybe you can televise some of the minor league games. I mean, that's something. I mean, you get to look at some of the guys that could possibly come up here in the future. Andrew, I mean, you get to flex Brett Beatty.
I'm not. Well, depending on the Rule 5, anybody on the 40-man you can't see. So you're not going to see Mauricio. You can see Alvarez. Alvarez is not on the 40-man yet, but anyone who's not
Beatty,
on
right?
Beatty's will be. They both will be next year. But right now, if anyone's on the 40-man, so you can't see Mauricio or those guys. But I mean, come on.
Just put a bag over their head. Put them on TV.
Put a Bobby Valentine mustache on them. But yeah, I mean, of course, I would love to be able to see have Gary, Keith, and Ron call Syracuse games or Binghamton games, whatever. But obviously, again, this is not going to get done for another couple weeks. Spring training, everyone's like, that's the deadline. There's no deadline. These guys are they're going to hold out, regardless how much money, until one side blinks. So it could be in March. It could be hell. If somebody decides tomorrow, if the players say, you know what, enough for this, they can get it done tomorrow if they decide. But it's going to be whatever side blinks first. This isn't going to end in the next couple weeks. Spring training, at least the workouts are probably screwed. The games are in March, so I mean, I'd say maybe the first week of spring training games are maybe in jeopardy, but it just depends what side blinks first is pretty much when this lockout's going.
MILB TV, it's actually pretty reasonable. I saw a lot of people talking about it. Yeah,
$49.99 for the whole season.
Yeah, not
From
bad.
day one, you
I
get
mean,
$50. You get every minor league game.
Yeah,
involved.
I'm lurking at that. I'm maybe possibly. If things go nuts, and we don't know, because the guy running it right now, that it could go nuts. Hayden, you've kind of been quiet on this one. If you want to add anything on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really, really annoying. I've been constantly saying on my live streams the same thing. But luckily, you know what? Hey, they're meeting. It's progress. People are saying, "Oh, is this going to be the next 1994?" I really don't think so. I mean, I wasn't alive in '94. I was born '02. But from everything I've read and heard about it, that was just. I mean, that we saw federal involvement. This isn't political talk with Hayden, but I obviously don't think that'll be the case. Most likely, I don't think we'll see any injunctions or any of that stuff. But hopefully we'll see. Hopefully these things can definitely work out. As of right now, they're really not losing much money. Yeah, maybe they're losing some money, whether it's ads or I don't know, whatever else they do during the off season. But as I think spring training comes closer and closer and the calendar starts going to February to March, one of the sides is just going to budge. And whether that's giving up something like the DH, then maybe something. But like Andrew and Frank said, it's going to be the core economic stuff. It's not going to be over the DH. I don't really think the 14-team playoff thing is going to be much of a thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the what was it? The pre-arbitration bonus was one thing, and I saw there was a massive difference. I saw it was MLB, the NHL, and MLB was completely on the bottom of the list, and then you had hockey, football, basketball, everything else above it. So it's really just crazy to see. But yeah, I mean, all we could do is just wait and see.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, I think it really is crucial that they do get spring as normal of a spring training as possible. When they had the 2020, whatever they called it, ramp up period, where they were just having, kind of inter squad games and then like quick little exhibition games. It's not enough time for the players to get ready. And to me, honestly, 2020 was a different brand of baseball. Obviously, the rule changes being number one, but I do feel the quality of the play was also a little bit different. So I really do think it's very important that they have as normal of a spring training as possible. If they lose a week, okay, you still get, hopefully a month of, pitchers and catchers together and, at least 15 games. I think 15 is probably enough. I think we all can agree that normal spring training, by the 15th game, we're all like, all right, like let's go up north and let's start playing ball, like real ball. But yeah, I really do hope that it gets resolved as soon as possible, because 2020 just felt like a very weird season.
Yeah, if we get to the 60 game like part of it where you're like, you might as well just not even like, because it was bad. Like it was really, really bad, that whole 2020 crap. I mean, a lot of things you had to adjust from, and it was really just, it was like they didn't even get to an agreement. So that was the crazy thing, is like you were just seeing that little bit of of how bad this was going to be, and you basically just had the commissioner say, okay, well, we're going to put in this 60 game season, you want to play, and that was it. So it was just, and you had some of the stars opt out as well. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully there's something that progresses in the next few weeks, because I mean, right now you're like a month from pitchers and catchers reporting. So you're the time. Yeah, less than that.
2.5. Yeah,
when is that?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
it's like a couple.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, mid-February.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
Something like that, February 15th, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
usually
Yeah, so you're getting really, really close, and you're cutting into a lot of time. So we'll see what happens, and it only feels like it's just started right now because you've just had the lack of news. But we'll see what happens, and let's move on to just the Metsies. All right, so a few days ago, Bleacher Report had a few insiders call the Mets the second best choice for Clayton Kershaw in free agency. Now, at 33 years old, Kershaw is coming off of another good year, but it was plagued a bit by injuries. But let's not forget about the career that he's had. 8-time All-Star, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, a league MVP in 2014. He's already 27th all-time in WAR among starting pitchers. Now, Billy Epler has made it public about acquiring multiple starting pitchers this offseason. So basically what we're asking here is, how high should the Mets be willing to go for Clayton Kershaw? Could the Mets form the greatest three-headed monster this game has ever seen? And we'll start with Frank about sports. Clayton Kershaw.
Well, as far as costs, I mean, money-wise, they can do whatever they want because they're already over the luxury tax. So it's not like, oh, we got to be careful and make sure we stay under the luxury tax. The thing they have to be mostly concerned about is years, because you don't want to get into any kind of repeater penalty, especially if that gets worse and then you're over the cap every single year. And you don't want to give a long-term contract to a guy that has started to have some injuries. And, trust me, as someone who has gotten older, it's not easy to stay as healthy as you were when you're younger. I mean, you're going to get hurt more and more as you get older. So I think this is not the first time we're going to see Kershaw getting plagued by injuries. So that does concern me if you were to invest in him. I'm looking at a 1 to 2 year deal. AAV-wise, again, doesn't really matter because the Mets have the money to where it's like, if you're going to be over, be over. You know what I mean? There's no point in just going kind of over. It doesn't help you. If you're going to be over, you might as well make your team best you can during that time period you're over the tax. But to me, as far as the fit, he would help the Mets if healthy. I just think that there's too many injury concerns with the team already. I've said a million times. Taijuan Walker, I think he can be a really good pitcher when healthy. Carlos Carrasco, we saw the health issues he had last season, and he's another guy that's getting older, so he could run into some more injury concerns. So I wouldn't want to bring in another guy who I'm concerned is going to be hurt, plus the way DeGrom season ended, plus the way Scherzer's playoff season ended. So I just don't want to add another injury-plagued guy, but it's exciting to think about. If Kershaw is even 75% of what he was his Cy Young years, that definitely would be a great number 3 start. I haven't asked him to be the ace anymore. Ask him to be the number 3. It would be pretty nice to see, especially, having a lefty in there. It's fun. You don't need a lefty to be in your rotation. It's not required. Just get the best 5 pitchers available. But, I mean, how could you say no to it?
Okay. TonyMetro, you're in LA. You've seen Kershaw. What do you think? How high should they go?
I mean, first, I just kind of have to poke a hole in the whole idea that Bleacher Report is, reporting him as like the second best destination. To me, first of all, Bleacher Report doesn't hold any water when it comes to reporting or insider. This is all speculation from one writer's opinion saying that he would be a fit for the Mets. It's not to say that Kershaw has any interest in going to the Mets or that the Mets have any interest in Kershaw. So I don't really buy into this report, but hypothetically playing it out, why would you ever not take a look at this guy? I know he's had injury concerns. He's getting older. But, he did make 22 starts last year. He threw about 100 innings or so. To have him on a deal, like Frank said, a shorter term deal, we're already over the luxury tax. So money's not even a concern anymore for the team. Obviously it'd be nice to have him. But that being said, I don't see him leaving LA. I think that's not happening. The only possible destination I could see is if he wanted to end his career with the Texas Rangers. He's a Dallas native. Go join his former teammate Corey Seager down there. But the Dodgers take care of their players. They pay great homage to them, and I just don't see the Dodgers letting him walk away. I think he's going to play his entire career in a Dodgers uniform. And just from more of a Mets perspective, I think getting a more sure thing, like making a trade for Sean Mania or Frankie Montas or Bassett from the Athletics, who are going to be having a fire sale, is a much better option for the Mets, considering the concerns they have in their rotation with Carrasco's performance last year, Taijuan Walker's second half swoon last year. I think they need a more sure thing than Clayton Kershaw, who's been obviously injured a little bit over the years and getting older.
Okay, well, Andrew, how high should the Mets go for Kershaw?
I mean, they should have equal interest as much as if they want Carlos Rendon. He should be equal to him because it's the same issues that Rendon has that Kershaw has. And I damn well trust Clayton Kershaw's track record more than I trust Carlos Rondon's track record. So if they're in on Rendon, they better be in on Kershaw to the same amount of interest. Because if you're telling me who would you rather have, Rondon or Kershaw, I think we're all going to take Clayton Kershaw if that was the two choices we get. But obviously the trade route, I think, is the best option because, again, you have some excess goods that you don't need and, don't bring any value to this team. I'm not talking about anyone specifically, but you can make a trade for any of the A's guys. Maybe if you want to go for the number 3 elite A's, you can get the guy in Cincinnati. Who knows? There's maybe a guy in Cleveland. Who knows? But there's plenty of trade options. And if we're just talking strictly for agency, if you want a lefty, maybe you go lower end on Kikuchi. I mean, but Kershaw, for me, if you're going on Rondon, you got to kind of have to be with Kershaw because I think just a track record, if the same guy, if injury concern lefty, I think you would more people would value the experience of Kershaw than a Carlos Rondon.
All right, Hayden, how high should the Mets go for Kershaw?
Yeah, well, I think for the most part, as of right now, I mean, the Mets were really pitching seems to have been their biggest priority this offseason. I think this was before the Max Scherzer, signing. They were willing to give guys like Steven Matz, was like $40 million. They were able to give Gausman over $100 million. This was obviously before the Scherzer signing, but still, pitching is what they really want. In terms of Kershaw, it's a nice lefty to that rotation. I do value lefties in the rotation because there's some lineups out there, the Mets, who don't have as good numbers against lefties as they do for righties. And there's some players out there who are the same thing. So I think it's always good to have, regardless of it being both. I think the rotation is good as well as the bullpen. But the rotation would be nice, especially with Lucchesi not being a full-on starter, questionable with David Peterson. So I think that could be fair. Like everyone was stating, the injury concern is something you have to be cognizant of. Obviously, with the elbow and forearm injury, which kind of screwed his chances in the playoffs in 2021 last season. That was really the big thing for him. And I mean, the Mets are really, limited on pitchers actually being healthy for a full season. So, still questionable with DeGrom and Scherzer. Both of those guys are to an extent getting up there in age. Maybe more so much Scherzer, obviously. And then you're still questionable. Is Walker going to get fatigue at the All-Star break? What's going on with Carrasco? So rotation help would be nice. He's 33. It's fair age. 8 Cy Youngs. That's never happened before. I believe the minimum I want to say was the Braves when it was that mid-90s juggernaut of a rotation. So I think that could be fair. If it's a short-term deal, it wouldn't hurt. It's gonna be a little costly, I feel, to an extent. But realistically, I think based on the industry, I could see Kershaw probably going to Texas or re-signing with the Dodgers because the Dodgers, you lost Scherzer. So the Dodgers, if you're the Dodgers, are you really going to want to lose Scherzer and Kershaw in the same offseason? Listen, I get it. Buehler's good. I mean, Urias is good. They have a solid rotation. But losing Kershaw is definitely going to be a dent in that Dodgers rotation. And I just don't see that happening. I mean, it's an athletic report. The Athletic could say that the Giants are going to win the World Series. But I think it's something to invest in, but it wouldn't be my top priority.
Yeah, I mean, I say go for it. I'm sorry, I've already said it. Listen, I'm willing to go the 3 to 4 years. The age does not really. It's not really that big of a concern for me. But let's remember that the Mets were willing to pay for Scherzer and Gausman. So, one more big move is coming, and I do want it to be Kershaw. I just need that 1, 2, 3. No one's gonna touch that. So, my biggest offer, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this might sound crazy: 4 years, $120 million, but then opt out year 3 or year 4. Listen, Kershaw is still one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's proven that for years. No one's beaten that 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, no one's beaten that 1, 2, 3.
I think you just blew Frank's mind, but okay.
That's a little too rich for my blood. No way. I'm not even going close to triple digits on this guy.
What is money? Come on.
What exactly, bro? We playing with Monopoly money. Who gives?
Look, here's
money?
Here's the thing. First of all, like you said, Hayden, just adding to it, I mean, losing Kershaw for the Dodgers would be even more than just losing a starting pitcher in the rotation. I really think it would totally just change their culture, especially after losing Seager this offseason. I just don't see how the Dodgers are going to also let Kershaw walk. And if he is, in fact, still one of the best pitchers in baseball, I just don't see how they're going to get beat on an offer if they want to keep their homegrown guy. I think there's other avenues that the Mets can do this without spending that kind of money, and that might be safer bets. I just for 120, that's way too much for me.
I think it's perfect, to be honest. But the thing is that what you're looking at here is that the the Dodgers pretty much kind of silenced Kershaw out. They didn't give him a qualifying offer for anything like a draft pick or anything. So it's something to keep your eye on. But when you just think of it, you're like, okay, you also had a lefty here, and then that's not David Peterson. And, come on. I mean, you have this window of 3 to 4 years or whatever with all these contracts tied down. I say go for it. I mean, you're already over the luxury tax. Go for it. Why not?
I think you just need to stop playing MLB The Show.
I do not play MLB The Show at all.
You're acting like you're playing with no salary cap. You want the 99 Kershaw, no injuries, 99 Kershaw, 99 DeGrom, 99 Kershaw.
I have not touched MLB The Show in months.
You legit played
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? You legit played it last month. Stop capping.
Last month, once for an hour. Whoa! Shit!
Right.
The better way, in my opinion, is to find a trade with the Athletics for one of Mania, Montes, or Bassett, preferably Mania or Montes. But doing that, and then personally, I still want the Mets to go sign Chris Bryant. I'd rather put that money toward Chris Bryant and utilize one of McNeil or Dom Smith and a prospect in a trade to get some starting pitching, and then add an ancillary guy for the rotation, a guy like. I know you're not going to love this name, but as like a fifth starting pitcher, Kwon Kim, the guy that's been with the Cardinals the last few years. Doesn't have the greatest.
No, you don't want him. You do not want him. No, you do not want him. Trust me, I have watched every start of him. You do not want him. No, go Zach Davies over him. No,
El Duque of the 2020.
Isn't he the guy?
Okay, you tell
Isn't he the guy? Isn't he the guy that looks like he's like taking a piss when he's like following through or something?
He might be, but guess what? If you have a rotation that starts out with DeGrom, Scherzer, let's call it Mania, and then you have hopefully a bounce back from Carrasco and Taijuan Walker. I'm just saying, as an extra guy to go in that David Peterson, Tyler McGill, and Joey Lucchesi pile, a guy like Kwon Kim, he's going to come on the cheap. Still allows you to go out and sign a guy like Chris Bryant or Kyle Schwarber to add to the lineup.
If you wanted a crappy Cardinals start, you should have just picked Carlos Martinez. At least he has upside.
What's up with Adam Wainwright? Is he available?
Yeah.
Let's give him 120 mil.
Jeez, I'll take him. Elite number 4 starter.
And Metsfan, I know Kershaw's 33, but dude, the mileage on his arm. He's been in the league since he was 20. I don't care if he's 33.
But is he really going to turn into a complete potato, though?
Coming to the Mets, as Mets fans, I think we all can say, yeah, he might. I'm not saying he will, but we've seen it before.
Okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. All right, what you got? Are you going?
Let's be real for a second. This is a 3-starter you're looking at right here. Exactly. You need about 4 or 5 quality innings of 2-run ball, 2 to 3-run ball from the guy. Like, that's what you're looking at. If he's healthy, he can do that. It's Clayton Kershaw. He's proven that he can do that. Go ahead, Andrew.
And I'll play devil's advocate. Everyone's like, well, Kershaw is this, dead arm, he get all washed. But then Max Scherzer gets nothing. He throws harder than Kershaw. Kershaw at least never really hit 100. He was always like 95, 97 with the curveball. But yet 37-year-old Max Scherzer, fine. It's like, come on. Like, you got to play both sides. Kershaw, you trust Kershaw's stuff to age well. Where Scherzer's was all gas, no brakes. Yes, I'll use a Jets line on a Mets show. Don't ask me why. But, like, Scherzer has consistently thrown 100 his whole career. Kershaw can get away with it, like Maddox did, a 91 fastball with his curveball. I trust him to age well better than Scherzer. And Scherzer's 37 is still pitching well, throwing 100. So, as your number 3, I know. If it's possible, I'm doing it. But I guess, again, is he going to give you 200 innings? No. But I'll use another line for Frank, COVID issues, don't expect any starter to give you 200 innings. Because COVID outbreak, then he goes on the COVID list. Or he gets hurt. All these guys are getting hurt. So you're going to need not just 5 starters, you're probably going to need a dozen starters. So yeah, don't expect, especially in today's game, one starting pitcher to give you 200 innings. If you get 120 to 150, and then you mix and match the rest. That's just how I see it.
You even got 92 from DeGrom this year, who pitched half a year. So,
Exactly, yeah. You gotta more mix and match part.
And he was coming out after like inning 4 or 5 sometimes. So all I'm saying is you're already over the luxury tax. Why not? I mean, that's what I say. Why not? I mean, just have some fun. If anybody wants to add anything with Kershaw.
Yeah, I want to add something. Kikuchi is not better than Taijuan Walker. So, I mean, that we need to get that sorted out. I mean, you tell me about how Taijuan Walker's stuff isn't great.
You're comparing mid to mid right now.
Exactly.
You tell me about the decline Taijuan Walker in the second half. How about the
look
decline
at you say Kikuchi
in the second half? And you're also wrong when you say he only had 2 good starts in the second half because he had a good start against the Phillies, a good start against the Dodgers and the Giants and the Phillies again and the Marlins. So that's more than 2. You don't have to go. You don't know how to count and get off your computer and.
Look what you got the old man all riled up.
Okay, here's the thing about Taijuan Walker. Everybody goes after him for like, okay.
What is this stuff that Kikuchi is better than Taijuan Walker? Where is it? Walker's been good his whole career. He's just been hurt. Kikuchi comes out of nowhere, has a good first half, not good in the second half, but he has potential. Walker's got no potential.
They're looking at fan graphs. Don't take it personally.
Not allowed to get tired. First
Frank,
time
why you letting the
whole
nerds get in your
season,
head, bro?
You wonder why his arm would give out. I mean, he's not used to this kind of workload.
Yeah.
Are we serious? Rondon has potential. Oh.
All right, so here's the thing. People forgetting that at best, Taijuan Walker's a 5-starter. That's what he is. Okay? And you have some of these things.
How? How is he cooked? How?
Oh yeah, his arm got cooked this year. His arm got cooked this year, but he'll get better. But
how is he cooked? How is his arm cooked? The guy made the whole season. Rondon is cooked. Taijuan Walker is not cooked. What is wrong with you people? Get off the damn Sierra. Get off all this crap.
That is fantastic.
You tell me the guy's horrible. I want to see you go pitch. You would be horrible. Taijuan Walker will whoop your ass. Stop it.
So we got clip of the week, a half hour already. Yeah.
Let's go.
Got on the fan. 877-666.
Yes,
66.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
wow, that was fantastic. That round of applause, people. That was great. That was great.
Oh my God.
That was great. Okay.
Speaking of angry rants.
Speaking of angry rants, no, the thing about like Taijuan is a 5-starter at best. That's what he is. That was what he was brought in to be, and. Like, everybody, listen, I understand I see the peripherals too. Yes, he's lucky this, lucky that. But can you, let's be real for a second. Like, is everyone going to be an ace? Like, let's be real. You need, not everybody's going to be an ace. We had this problem when we had those young guys that we brought in, like with Wheeler and Syndergaard, and everybody was comparing them to DeGrom. Everybody hated them.
ERA under 4.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
How is he terrible? Like, what are you watching? Get off the computer and watch the game. Oh.
This is the thing. Everybody will be criticized if they're not DeGrom. That's just how it works with this Mets fan base. Do I think Walker is one of the worst starters in baseball? No. Do I think he is a little bit of a luck merchant? Maybe. But let's not act like, okay, this guy was brought in here to be our ace, to be our number 1, and this is it. Like, let's be real for a second. I mean, come on.
No, let's be real about this. How come everyone that fits your agenda, like Conforto, is unlucky, but then Taijuan Walker is a luck merchant? I mean, come on, that's BS.
Because Sierra said so, and everything Sierra says is true. She knows everything.
Whoa,
Can we leave Russell Wilson's girlfriend alone, or wife, whatever?
If Taijuan Walker,
he is never. No, I never defend Conforto. What are you talking about? No, here's the thing.
Starting pitcher, then Michael Conforto is at his best rest an 8-hitter in a lineup.
Yeah, you're. Whoa, no. Okay.
14 home runs.
Well, listen, if it doesn't fit the narrative, we don't care. That's the first thing.
245 average this year. Is that what it was?
Yeah, yeah.
Keep it going. Doesn't matter.
Keep it going. Look at one thing. That's it. All right. So,
like the guy that was
I'm not
terrible was
gonna
the
get
team's only All-Star representative. Just think of that, and he's the terrible one. Just keep that in mind.
yeah, exactly. Like he was an all-star. Okay, he may have got shelled.
Okay,
for the rest of the year.
He also threw like twice the amount of innings this season than he ever did in his career.
Yeah, that's what I'm defending. That's what I'm saying. Like, are we really expecting this guy to be like? You're really like everyone's expecting this guy to be like, like one of our you had your 1, 2, 3 with him with DeGrom, Stroman, and Walker, but you're not gonna like. Let's not act like Taijuan Walker is supposed to be our best pitcher. Like he was brought in because that other dude that we will remain nameless. He was brought in there. He was there as a possible guy to be that 5 starter, and he got the job. You also had Lucchesi too. I mean, you had other. Let's stop acting like Taijuan Walker's an ace. He never will be an ace. Let's be real for a second. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. So chat, calm down. It's okay. We get it. You're all racist. You all don't like Taijuan Walker. But he's not supposed to be that key guy. He's not our number 1 guy. He's probably not even our number 4 guy right now. So, and yeah, Taijuan Walker, he's a dog. He got the dog mentality. Could he possibly be one of those guys whose arm was dead or something because of the workload? Sure. But let's not be like, okay, I'm looking at my computer right now and it's telling me this and it's telling me that. He's not supposed to be one of our key guys in that rotation, especially while you brought in Max Scherzer. I mean, come on, people. Jesus! Nut jobs!
He's still better than Tyler McGill, but...
I mean, like the guy's he's not great, but he's not terrible. Like he's all right. He's pretty good. He's good enough to be in your rotation. That's all it comes down to. That's all he's here to do.
I literally just see him as the 5 guy, the 5 and then a 4 if someone gets
that's what he was supposed to be
it.
If Syndergaard could have been healthy, but that generational guy couldn't get on the field.
Frank's got to stop interacting with the chat because he's just blowing his shit.
Yeah. He's getting destroyed by Twitter memes right now, and it's hilarious. Okay. All right. Well, I bet you this conversation will.
This is gonna be
this will be a great conversation too. Zips 2022 projections are finally out, and if you don't know what Zips is, it's kind of like if you looked at Steamer projections and then you just switched a few things up to be different and like sound like you stand out into a crowd. Take out that as you will. Now, Francisco Lindor's projections have made a few old men unhappy. Let's just be real for a second. Obviously, his $341 million contract for the next 10 years will kick in this season. So for those wondering what these Zips projections were, you're looking at him getting 586 plate appearances. You got 25 home runs. You got 74 RBIs, 263 BA, 205 isolated power, 804 OPS, 118 WRC plus, and an FWAR of 4.7. So the question is, should Mets fans be satisfied with these projections? What are the main thoughts of these projections that you're seeing? Also, keep it a grain of salt because Zips is really not that good, people. Let's just calm down. All right. Andrew, start it up. What do you think of this?
Oh boy.
Can you get behind this right here? Is this good enough for you?
I mean, I think the steamer wall again. If we're just talking strictly these, if that's his line, he adds 5 homers in this past year. His average goes up 40 points. WRC plus, I think, stays the same. Maybe goes up a little bit. Oh, yeah, it goes up 17 points. The WAR goes down. Yeah, the WAR goes down from 5. Well, about 5. Still round up about 5. Obviously, I think it just depends offensively, where is he going to hit in the lineup? And I think the lineups where he hits is going to determine his stats, because last year you saw him in the 2 spot, you saw him in the 3 spot. Obviously, how is Buck going to construct this lineup? If he hits 2, Nimmo and Marte at the top, do you hit him in front of Pete? Do you hit him behind Pete? Because if you hit him behind Pete, let's say Nimmo gets on, Marte hits a single, it's first and third, and Pete is a 3-run homer. Well, there goes his RBI chances for Lindor. So it's just kind of where does he hit in the lineup, especially now with Marte now. You've got 2 elite on-base guys at the top. If he hits in front of Pete Alonso, there's a chance that the RBIs goes up. He hits behind Pete, the chance that, obviously Pete can clean up the bases. Then now here comes a Lindor with nobody on. So it just depends where is he going to hit offensively. Obviously, you're going to get one of the best defensive value shortstops in the game. That's where he makes his bread and butter. But do you hope the batting average goes up? I mean, Bryce's first year, which I was looking at, another big $300 million man, when his first year was kicked in, he hit 260. If his first year, then next year 268, and then obviously this past year, winning the National League MVP. If Lindor can do that kind of trend where it's like first year, that big money contract hits 260, next year 270, and it goes crazy year 3, I think we all take that. The BA, again, if he hits 270, just get on base. And also, it just depends where he hits. If, let's say, Showalter goes for some reason, Marte, Lindor in the 1-2, and then Nimmo hitting the 9th, kind of that second leadoff hitter, then maybe you get some creativity. It just kind of depends where Lindor hits is going to determine kind of his offensive stats. Do I expect the home runs and doubles to go up? 100%. But if you're just strictly talking RBI-wise, it just kind of determines where is he going to hit. Because if Alonso's hitting in front of him, he's going to steal a lot of them because, he can one swing, he's hitting, and there goes all 3 RBIs. So it just depends where he's in the lineup and how Showalter wants to utilize.
All right. Well, before I go to Frank here, just so you know, I just calculated some pace right now to put this over 650 plate appearances. I know you're like your RBIs, so that would go to about 82 RBIs over 650 plate appearances. So, Frank, what do you think of these numbers? Is this fraudulent?
I mean, the RBIs I'm not too concerned with because, like Andrew said, I think he's batting somewhere in that 2 to 3 spot. So you don't expect like 100 RBIs out of your number 2 hitter. That's not really realistic. My biggest problem with that whole stat line is the OPS. I mean, Lindor, when you look at his career, even his rookie season, he had an 835 OPS, 2017, 842. Now, I know we're not getting 2018 Lindor. I know that was like the peak of his career. We're not getting that guy again, but I can't live with 804. I mean, there was a point in time where when VR's hot streak, his OPS was around 800. I mean, you can't have Francisco Lindor and hot Jonathan VR in the same stratosphere. Like, that can't happen when you look at the disparity in the kind of contracts they have. There was a point in time this year for the Dodgers before they had their struggles where almost the entire starting lineup had OPSs of at least 800. And they're not all making the kind of money that Lindor will be making this year. Even though Lindor didn't get paid $35 million last year, you're still expecting him to be a top-tier player. I mean, because you gave up Jimenez and Rosario and those other prospects for Lindor and Carrasco, you expect Lindor to still be really good, whether his contract is this year or, next year, whatever it is. But I just think that when you have an OPS 804, like, that's not close to where Lindor should be. He's got to be 30, 40. I mean, even 118 WRC plus, is that amazing? I mean, is it? And then the WAR, like, I guess that takes into consideration what, his stolen bases and glove. I mean, I know his glove's going to be good. I'm not worried about his glove, but I just think 804 OPS is so, like, it's slightly above average. And I just don't think the Mets can afford and are looking for slightly above average. They're looking for, really good. So, and don't even get me started. When you get the OPS numbers that David Ortiz put up or Barry Bonds put up, like, these guys are over 1,000. So Lindor is not even close. I don't love it. I hope that's not the case. I hope he outperforms that, and he better outperform that because not only am I not going to be satisfied, most common Met fans are not going to be satisfied with that because the common Met fan is not going to look at his WRC plus, not going to look at his WAR. If they see a batting average, sub 260, they're going to boo him. And we know that Francisco Lindor does not respond well to boos, and he does have hobby bias to bail him out. So then he goes on a downward trend, and he sucks again. So, I mean, that doesn't look too encouraging to me.
All right. From one old man to another one. TonyMetro, what do you think of this?
Don't love the numbers, obviously. But I mean, trying to keep an open mind and look at the metrics as well. Even those aren't very appealing, like Lindor brings so much to the game with his glove that, we're going to love. That's going to be a huge benefactor to the Mets. But that's just not what we thought we were getting. And I'm sick of hearing this whole, we're not allowed to be upset about the contract that he got, or, in the case of Edwin Diaz, you can't be mad at Edwin Diaz for the trade that he was in. Yes, we can. We can, okay? Because it cost the team a lot of money, or it cost the team some serious prospects, or whatever it is. And yeah, you can be upset when the players don't live up to the expectations, whether they were attached to them fairly or not. And the Mets, as fans, were allowed to be upset with the situation. And mainly for me, it was that last year, Lindor showed a ridiculous amount of immaturity between the fight he had with McNeil, the booing the fans on the field with the thumbs down, hiding behind Javi Baez, talking about Javi Baez's contract publicly, saying that, oh, Steve Cohen has the money, he could pay him. He did not act like a leader last year. We thought he was going to be a culture-changing guy the way that we now hope Max Scherzer will be. So if he could bring the glove and have at least had the maturity last year, I would have been really happy with where we're trending with Lindor and just hoping for a bounce back year. But I'm really expecting a lot out of him. And if I could just put an end to this whole, myth that you can't get RBIs based on, your batting spot. DJ LeMahieu had 584 at-bats in the leadoff spot in 126 games in 2019. 92 of his 102 RBIs came out of the leadoff spot that year. So what are you trying to tell me? Oh, RBIs are all a matter of situation. Yes, it can be, but it's perfectly possible for a guy in the leadoff spot, in the second spot, to drive in runs. I'm sorry, but he needs to come up big when it matters most, because we saw far too many times last year where he did not, and he faltered and he let the team down.
I will say RBIs is a little bit of a team stat. I mean, you kind of need guys to get on in front of you. The Yankees offense and Mets offense, not exactly comparable.
Right, but it should be now with Starling Marte and with the DH. If
yeah, no.
Lindor is hitting third, that's not like hitting second. Or if Lindor's hitting second, it's the ninth guy is the second leadoff guy. It's going to probably be Mark Canha hitting ninth for the Mets this year. So you're telling me that
could be James McCann hitting
90 RBIs? I mean, in the second spot,
yeah, it's a lot of different possibilities. But we'll say, even if you nerds want to use WRC plus, I mean, Andrew brought Bryce Harper, and that was a great comparison. Bryce Harper had a 170 WRC plus this year. So if Lindor's at 118, it's not even close. So I mean, we're looking for him to be not the MVP, but MVP caliber, be in the conversation, be a top 10 MVP finish. And if Bryce Harper, even his projection is, 143 WRC plus, and Lindor's, again, only 118, you're not on the same level as Bryce Harper. Come on now.
Can Brian or can Louie in the chat, can you guys explain to me what weighted runs created plus is? I know it is. Can you tell me what it is and how that matters with runners in scoring position? Type it into the chat. Give us your best definition of that and how it's valuable to you.
I'd like to see this
seeing it online and just being able to.
Even if he is, Bryce is 140. So what's your point? What's your point?
Please inform.
Why does this feel like a tag?
All right.
Is that 35 million, Carson? 120 WRC plus, is that 35 million?
I mean, it depends on what other value he's bringing. So
forget the glove. Let's say just the bat alone.
I mean, I can get into that right now. I mean, no, but again, that's not how they bring in. That's not how they look at player value. It's all around player. And I mean, this is okay. This is exactly what I tried to warn everybody about when we traded for Lindor and how this guy was portrayed by fans. Is Lindor a great hitter? Yes. Is he an elite hitter? Not really. And when I was completely honest about this last year and said there's a chance Lindor could struggle in his few months, I was called crazy, told to off myself, I was told to root for another team. The crazy thing is that these projections are not really that far off from his career highs. Now, when you talk about position players, what does everybody else do? Straight to the hitting. That's how a player is, valued by the typical baseball fan. It's normal. But here's the thing. But what gets mixed up all the time is that he's getting paid $341 million for the next 10 years. An MVP caliber contract. That's an MVP caliber amount of money. Is Lindor a MVP caliber hitter? No. Is Lindor an MVP caliber player? Yes, and that's how his value is measured. So my initial thought was Mets fans would see what type of hitter Lindor is, and they'd be shocked. He's peaked offensively. That's already been a given. Has he declined? No, not really. You know, I'm just saying that, like I said, don't be shocked when you see what type of hitter Francisco Lindor is, because you're probably going to, especially after the contract he got, you're probably going to be disappointed. Overall, as a player, is he worth that money? Maybe, but like, it's an overpay. Everyone overpays. So his projected AAV, I'd say before getting that contract, 28 to 29 million a year. I mean, that's how these players are valued. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, you should just go straight off of WAR, straight off of this, straight off of that. But that's basically what he's earned based on some of these metrics. That's just how it's become. So, class dismissed. I'm always right. Humanity restored. But does anybody else want to add something on this with
$341
Lindor?
million for Ray Ordonez.
Oh my God.
I mean, Tatis is projected at 150 WRC plus, and Lindor said, "Oh, I need $1 more million than him." But you know, I don't know. He's projected at 116. He's projected at 116 on Fangraphs, which is even worse than Zips. So
I mean, what's I mean, if you look at Francisco Lindor, you look at his career best. What do you see? WRC plus wise, just look at that. What do you say?
What I'm saying is that as far as regular numbers, if he could give me at least close to 2017, I'll be happy. I'm not even asking for 2018. Give me close to 2017. I'll be okay. Give me close to 270 average, close to 30 home runs, OPS, a good push, but like around 830 OPS. Give me that. Obviously, with the defense, we know he's going to have speed. We know he's going to have. Don't be a jerk. Don't be sensitive. And let's call it a day. Then you could have your money.
Are we sure he's Puerto Rican?
I told he's not from the hood like Javi Baez, though.
Like, are we sure?
He's not from Bayamon.
I mean, is he like a New York Puerto Rican? He might be like a New York Puerto Rican. He's not Puerto Rican. If you know, you know.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say about that. It's just like
you just can't hit 230 again. Like, I mean, you
no,
can
he can't. Of course not.
You can't hit 230 again. Like,
that's
hard to defend. It really is.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that, I mean, we went into OPS and everything, and average OPS in the league 714, 712. So you're seeing a pretty big, like, above, like 20%, around 20% above the league average. And that's pretty much what the best you're going to get from Lindor in the type of pace that he's on throughout his entire career. That's the thing. Like, was he really that ever of an elite hitter? Let's be real for a second. That's what I said. Like, before we even signed, like, we even gave him this contract, I was like, and everybody goes straight to the hitting. That's how you do it with the position players. Everybody does it. Even I do. I even started off with, okay, what's his WRC plus? What's his this? What's his that? That's what I go through first. But, like, let's be real for a second. Was he ever really an elite hitter? Was he ever elite?
That 2018 season. That's about it.
He wasn't like elite.
That was his closest to elite.
Yeah,
2018.
He was a lot better than what he was this year.
Yeah. There's a difference between great and elite. That's the thing. It's like,
that's the other thing. Like, I was gonna bring it up. Okay, what contract would you rather have? Seager at 10 years, 325, or Lindor at 10 years, 340? Who would you rather have? Who's the better overall ball player? Do you want? It just depends. If you want the offense, you're gonna take Seager.
Yeah,
but if you want the better
Lindor also is gonna age a lot better, in my opinion. That's another thing.
Well, Seager's healthy. That's the other thing. Seager has
a health problem.
It's just we talk about
and
see that this is what we're talking about here. This is obviously you got to do it in a full year, but that's close to his career best right there. Like, that's really close when you look at it. That's what I mean. Like, you're not seeing, like, you're not going to see this explosive, you're not
getting Tatis.
Compared you're not to Harper, compared to guys like Tatis offensively, you're just not going to see that. And that's what I said. Like, that's what I was trying to tell people before they did that.
People aren't going to understand that, though, because he's getting paid what they're paying. They don't look at the other stuff. That's the problem. So,
I mean, again, is that really my problem, though?
No, it's not your problem.
We're only talking to 6 of us that are usually here. Yeah. Like, and it's New York fan. I mean, right? The city of New York's fan base, I've never really understood why did everybody hate it. And then I see the New York Ranger fans. I understand New York fans are just idiots. So they're going to be idiots. Just let them be idiots.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You look at Lindor here and the type of player he is. People have seen what type of player he is. There's another guy that could complement him very well in that lineup, who's not him.
Who's not, but he's gone. So,
but he's in Detroit now. So, and that's what angers me. So,
don't worry.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, don't be. That's what I was trying to say. Don't be surprised if he's not the type of hitter that people think he is, because he's not. Like, that's the thing. I understand. Maybe he'll outplay all these peripherals and whatever. But the thing is, because he's still young, he's still 29 now. So it's like he still can have a better season. But what he's proven over his career, he's a proven player already. What he's proven over his career is that he's not really this explosive offensive player that people think he is. I understand we see the highlight reels, him hitting homers over Chad Green. But when you look into it, like, every day, and I'm sure there's some, like, Cleveland fans who can say this, is he's not really the player that people think he is offensively. Is he an MVP caliber player at his best? Absolutely. Is he an MVP caliber hitter? No. He just hasn't been. He's a great hitter, but he's not an elite one. That's what I've tried to say. But listen, I guess I was the idiot here. I don't know.
Yeah, he finished top 10 MVP voting for 3 straight years from 16 through 18. Then even in 19, he was 15. So he's always been MVP in the conversation, just, again, based off everything he does. So,
but not bad. So.
And again, you do need defense for MVP.
Yeah. All right, let's play a little. Well, can I play a quick little game here? Let's show game. Who would you rather have?
Go ahead.
Xander Bogaerts or Fernando Tatis Jr.? Not Lindor. Sorry, Lindor. Compare Lindor to Bogaerts. Sorry, my bad. Lindor or Bogaerts?
I'd probably take Bogaerts.
Jesus Christ!
The Lindor baby thing just doesn't work anymore. It really doesn't. Bogaerts is a much more straightforward guy. He kind of plays ball, and that's it. Lindor's too extra. He really is.
All-around player.
It's Lindor.
I'm definitely taking Lindor. Like, that's and that's what he has over.
Better bat. Yeah, but then
I understand. Listen, I understand Mets fans are used to just having one-dimensional guys. Guys that don't really play well that much defense. They don't play. But you got Lindor here, who can use all 5 tools to help you win.
David Wright and Jose Reyes and Carlos Beltran, 5-tool players. Those guys were 5-tool players.
So is Lindor.
I didn't need to look at their weighted runs created plus or ex-WOBA to know that they were excellent baseball players that made an impact in almost every game.
Watch the games, folks.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's have some fun.
Get Louis out of this chat. Kick him out. David Wright is trash defensively. You don't know what he's talking about.
All right, let's have a little fun. Let's stop yelling at each other.
Nah.
Don't. It's not.
Okay.
Don't pull a Frank.
Get angry. All right.
I bet Keith Hernandez was trash defensively.
Oh,
too.
Definitely trash defensively. He won't go glove.
His first step to his left was about -7 degrees, which is 4 meters off the access point to what Anthony Rizzo does, and therefore is not an elite defensive first baseman. Okay. Nerds. I'm losing it.
You could tell the guy. You could tell who's from LA compared to all of us.
Here's the thing. All right, you can use again, and I try to say this, but it always gets wrapped up. You can use as many numbers as you can. but it can only get you so far. I love to use them more than anyone. I love so many random numbers. You have no idea. There's some messages on our group chat where I just say some random shit, and I'm like, okay, here's the thing. They can only get you so far. You have to use a little bit of everything. I understand everyone needs to be on one side, but you gotta spread it out. You gotta, your horizon. So, broaden your horizon there. So for the old people like Frank and Tony, look at some advanced numbers. For the people that look at the advanced numbers, look at some other stuff. Like it's just you can't just look at the numbers and say, that's it. That's all I'm looking at. Because that's your only thing you're basing it off of. I love to use everything. That's what I love to use. Everything. Anyway.
And and if the nerds were always right, the Rays would be in the World Series every year. Are the Rays in the World Series every year? That's why. It's a mixture of both, not just one.
Christ.
It's just one.
You're a loser, you know that? Okay. Anyway. All right, let's set the scene, boys. Let's set the scene, all right? I wish I had like a nice little background thing, but I don't. I might have to add that. But anyway, set the scene. It's Game 7 of the World Series. Woohoo! Winner go home. The umpire needs a lineup of 8 position players, a DH, and a starter. You can pick any player of any era. We're going to go around the table for each position. We can have repeats. Because this is not a draft. So yeah, we'll just go around the table of I almost said PlayStation performers.
That's
Yes, my God,
postseason.
You're right.
Postseason performers.
Living rent free, baby.
Anyways, so yeah, and also, guys in the chat, give us your postseason lineup as well. Give us that, and we'll let you know of what we think of that, of the best postseason performers. Some of us have seen more postseasons than others.
Yeah.
So,
me and Metsfan have only seen colored TV. Frank has radio in black and white, so he has us beat there. But
yeah,
and the
all
recap
right.
to the newspaper.
And the
There we
news,
go.
yeah, exactly. There you
This
go.
only works with 5 or 6 on the layer here, so it kind of looks a little off. But
It does. Yeah.
anyways, we'll start with the catcher position. Andrew, who do you have at catcher?
You're gonna see from my team, it's mostly guys that I've seen play and more favorites of mine. But I had to go Boomer at least a couple times. I went Johnny Bench. For his career, 45 games played, WRC plus 133, 10 homers, 20 RBIs for his career. BA 266 and good defense. I built my team as I'm building the team, not just I'm gonna take the best player at every position and put them together. I built it as a lineup and how I would construct my roster. So behind the plate and going to good, one of the best catchers of all time, I went Johnny Bench.
Okay. Frank about sports.
I took a guy that, even though I'm a Met fan, Mets didn't exist at the time. I did root for the Giants and the Dodgers more so in the 40s, but Yogi Berra behind the plate. You can't win all those rings and be so successful, just for no reason, especially as a catcher. Take the framing, clean up real nice, turn it sideways, and stick it. Because who cares about the framing? You need a lead. You need a guy that in the big moment, it comes down to who's clutch. So in a Game 7, you got to have Yogi Berra behind the plate. And he's going to be funny, too. Keep that good morale, good chemistry. Nobody be seeing any raccoons in the dugout.
The clutch factor is going to be big tonight.
I'm just trying to keep track of this, but my the software I'm using to keep track of this is just really being a dick. So, Tony, who do you got at your catching position?
Well, in the interest of trying to give different names than these two guys, I'm going to go with Jorge Posada, who played
I like that.
15 years in his career, played in the playoffs, 29 different series. Not exactly the greatest old man numbers, 248 batting average. Don't love that, but good on base percentage. Obviously, always one of the more clutch hitters of that Yankees core 4, and obviously a leader behind the plate. And really sometimes unfairly gets overlooked from that team, and I always thought was kind of the heart of it, and one of the captains, even if he wasn't recognized as one.
Okay, we have all four of us have a different one, which is good. So I'm taking Gary Carter. I need a leader. He had that 81 postseason was pretty much. I mean, that was incredible with Montreal. Yeah, I need a leader. Mets, please retire his number next. Then David Wright. Please do it. All right. To first base we go. Andrew, first base.
Again, now back to my day and watching ball. Going Albert Pujols. 86 postseason games, a 160 WRC plus, old man numbers hitting 297, 19 homers, 54 RBIs in the postseason. Again, you got to have the machine, and just again, part of that Cardinals. I guess you can call them a dynasty because they did win 2 rings. So obviously stole MVP. Howard stole the MVP from Beltran, but he was in that 06 class. But got to go big Albert.
All right, Frank.
I had Pujols as well, actually, so that'll be our first repeat. I mean, the guy, he showed up in the big moments, and again, you can't win multiple rings not being clutch, and Pujols definitely was a big part of those teams. He also was a very underrated defensive first baseman. He's got a couple Gold Gloves in his resume, so that's always nice to have, too. You don't want to have a butcher hand in Game 7 where guy throws a low throw, you need someone to scoop it out, Pujols to pick it. So he could do it offensively, he could do it defensively, and again, just another good clubhouse guy, a guy you definitely want on your team.
All right. Tony, who do you got at first?
Someone that I didn't personally get to watch, but I know Frank got to, Lou Gehrig. I mean, how could it not be Lou Gehrig? One of the greatest players of all time. I don't think I really need to say anything else.
And he also was good in the postseason, too. Like, he even shined there. He was really good in the postseason.
Yeah, so looking at his numbers, he had 7 different playoff appearances in his career, 361 average, 483 OBP, 10 home runs in 34 games. But I mean, there's really nothing needs to be said. It's Lou Gehrig.
All right, first base for me. Started off as a third baseman, but now shifting over to first. Miguel Cabrera. I need Miguel Cabrera. Didn't have as many postseason appearances as he was supposed to, but he was dominant for where he was in those MVP years. Did he deserve that MVP? I don't know. But anyway, second base now. Andrew.
Again, there's going to be some Mets on here. You got to be biased. We're on a Mets show, so there's got to be some Mets. And if we're talking just postseason performance, what about one of the greatest postseason runs? And a couple of them, Daniel Murphy, 160 WRC plus, career 309 hitter in the postseason. Obviously got that big World Series run, 8 homers, 15 RBIs. Again, if I'm bottling, we're just taking just at his postseason career. Yes, take out the World Series, but even with the Nationals, he played well. So Murph at second, gotta have some Mets on. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me just pick, Alomar or like all the greatest players. It's not fun that way. Put Murph in the 2 spot in this lineup between, in front of Pujols. That's creating some RBIs. Come on.
I think. Oh no, I have 2 Mets. Okay. All right, Frank, second base.
I have a very controversial one, but give me the guy who has the most postseason home runs by a second baseman, Jose Altuve. I mean, this is a guy that people think cheated, but there was a video on him called, the most unfairly, criticized guy, never really cheated. Big moments. Listen, Game 7, you need someone to come through. Jose Altuve could do it. I mean, we saw he did against Chapman, so give me Jose Altuve. I need a clutch second baseman.
All right, Tony, second base.
I won't lie, I'm a little unprepared. You go first.
All right, I also picked Altuve. Amazing postseason career. I don't care about cheating. The little engine can do it. Love me some Jose Altuve. Haters gonna hate. All right. Tony, you've had about 4 seconds to prepare.
Wow, that was awesome. Thanks. Give me Bud Harrelson.
It's a defense. Hey,
Bud Harrelson.
No, okay. I'm just throwing a name out there.
There you go.
Robinson Cano.
Right. Hey, Hayden show.
Cano can probably work if you want Cano. Harrelson. Okay. Ooh. All right. To third base we go. Andrew.
Again, keeping tour. I've seen him play. Part of the most recent dynasty. One of the core pieces. Obviously got paid by the Boston Red Sox and turned to shit. But as a tub myself, I need a little Kung Fu Panda action. For his career, 42 games played in the postseason, a 155 WRC plus. Y'all love batting average? He had 338 in his World Series career. 6 homers, 20 RBI. Give me some Panda action. Switch hitter, 3-homer game against Justin Verlander in game 4 of the World Series against the Tigers. The Panda can hit, I'm not looking at what he did in Boston and then when he didn't come back to the Giants. Those World Series runs, the Panda was nasty.
All right. Preach. Okay. Frank, third base.
So, again, when it comes to winning the World Series, it comes down to the guys that have rings. So, give me a member of the Big Red Machine. Give me Pete Rose. Guy who was really good in the postseason, part of those Reds teams. He definitely played plenty of third base in the 70s, and he's a guy I know that he's going to get me hits. He'll get on base for the other players I have in my outfield, big power hitters, that will bring him home. So, I definitely like Pete Rose.
Does he belong in the Hall of Fame?
Well, oh God, don't even get me started. The Hall of Fame.
We don't got time. We already got Frank pissed off.
He didn't cheat. So
yeah, he didn't. You have to put emphasis on the player with him.
But then again, he does have integrity. So
he's kind of a dick. Yeah.
He does have integrity. That hurts.
As a player, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Again,
it's like Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling, Hall of Fame player, not a Hall of Fame guy.
It's like
I think it's pretty much the same category.
Quite a dick. Tony.
TonyMetro.
Well, this one's going to pay me to say, but I'm going to have to go with Larry Chipper Jones at third base.
Ooh, okay.
Obviously, we know how much he tormented us as Mets fans and was in the postseason seemingly every single year of his career. Good numbers all throughout. World Series in, 97, 96, right, with the Braves. Yeah, great defense for the most part, unless I don't look at his fielding metrics. So I don't know, maybe not so much. But, yeah, Larry Jones is my third baseman.
I mean, he's got silver fielding in MLB The Show, so that's not good.
All right. David Freese, you got to give me the clutch man himself. You want to talk clutch? David Freese. All right. The man just, he's clutch. What do you want from me? What do you want?
He did nothing in Game 7. He only showed up in Game 6, so he did like nothing in Game 7. So
hey, but he sent them to a Game 7.
But we're talking, okay.
Hey, there's another guy that didn't send you to the World Series in 06. You didn't see me mention that guy. Yeah! Let's go!
Fight.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Shortstop. Andrew.
Again, we're gonna go to those cheating Stros a little bit. And again, we're gonna get some flair. Here we go. We're gonna have a clutch man. It seems like any time the Houston Astros needed a hit in the postseason, this guy shows up. Give me Carlos Correa. Again, I'm going to be biased because I'm a child. I like my, early 2000s, 2010 guys. But Correa in the postseason, numbers aren't as good as I thought they were. 130 WRC plus, hit 272. But he's got 18 career postseason homers and 59 postseason career RBIs. Correa's nasty in the postseason for the Astros. And yet, cheating or not, he still puts up numbers. Even last year, every year, when the Astros need a hit, it's always Correa that does it.
Okay. Shortstop for Frank About Sports.
Another controversial one, but give me Derek Jeter. I mean, Jeter was a guy that, he's overrated. His metrics. The guy got hits in the postseason. Game 7, you need clutch plays, whether it's a shovel pass to home plate, jumping in the stands, or just getting hits, doing it all. Derek Jeter was that guy, so I got to have Jeter.
Now fielding matters.
I'm telling you, it's inconsistent. That's how I throw these people.
Average, so fielding is just a nice little bonus after you already showed that you're clutch.
Yeah, but what was his weighted runs created plus? in the postseason.
Bad.
If it wasn't over
Lindor's
120,
per-
He
No.
only got
projected
career
this
runs,
year.
not the way to.
I'm also picking Derek Jeter.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how like the career WRC plus of Derek Jeter is like on like the same like level as Francisco Lindor? That's fucking weird. Shortstop for TonyMetro.
Jeets.
He's a Jeter.
Definitely
You got Jeter?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with a division rival.
Who's better than Derek Jeter?
Who's better than Derek Jeter? Give me Nomar Garcia Parra. I love him in backyard baseball. That's the number one. Okay. And he comes up big. All right. That's why I need guys who come up big. And Jeter, though he's Jeter, Nomar's better. He's just better. All right. Andrew, left field. Going to left field.
Again, keeping it recent, keeping it cheating. Give me Springer dingers. George Springer, 141 WRC plus career in the postseason, 269 batting average. Nice. He has 19 career homers, 38 career RBIs in the postseason. What was it? Oh yeah. So again, George Springer, power, leadoff. Again, how I build it, power hitting leadoff. What's better than game one of the World Series? First pitch, bomb, I'm up 1-0. That's what George Springer provides. Dong, clutch.
All right. Left field for Frank About Sports. Who do you got?
I also have someone pretty recent, someone that I get to saw a lot, and I'm glad I did, and that's Babe Ruth. I mean, in the 20s with those Yankee teams, he was great in the postseason and just an all-around, all-time great player. So definitely give me Babe Ruth in left field.
I had my ass. I thought I had my ass.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say maybe hot dog mentality, maybe hamburger mentality. He's always looking at those. All right.
Wait, did Frank? What was Frank's pick?
Babe Ruth.
Frank's was Babe Ruth. Very controversial one.
Love
Very
that.
controversial.
Yeah, I'm going Manny Ramirez.
Nice.
has
Ooh,
the
it's
best
Manny
postseason
Ramirez.
numbers.
That's a
I
good
think
pick.
most postseason home runs of all time. Yeah, Manny.
All right. For me, give me Frank Robinson. Big part of that big red machine as well. Pete Rose and everybody. Give me Frank Robinson. All right. Center field. The center position.
The center position.
Yeah. It's like it's lined up with
It's
home
right,
plate, I
just
think.
right. You see grass and you go straight. I guess I'm leading it off. I mean,
All right,
I'm
go
going
ahead.
with a guy who is top 5 career ranked out any MLB players, top 5 in WRC plus in the postseason at a 169 clip. Nice. I don't care about a curveball. Give me Carlos Beltran. Yes, one curveball ruins his postseason legacy. He was the record that Murphy broke in 04 with the Astros. Everyone's like, well, who did Murphy's break? He broke his. And yeah, obviously he's remembered for one spinny curve from one of the best spinny curves of all time. Wow, that's saying something from a guy who's still pitching and like goddamn 80 years old. Rest of his stats, 16 career homers, 42 RBIs, a 307 BA if you want, BA, old people love their BA. That's over 300. That's elite. So give me Carlos.
Here's the thing about Carlos Beltran.
I will fight you. You better watch your mouth.
How many? Okay, you compare the postseason. You compare the postseasons of Michael Conforto, right, and Carlos Beltran, right?
Yeah.
Who
Michael
has
Conforto-
home runs in the World Series though for the Mets?
Who has more home
That's
runs
the
overall?
problem you're facing right now. That's
mean-
really really tough,
Yeah, how many MVP seasons has Mr. Michael Conforto had?
2020. Okay, he was gonna do it. All right.
If this answer is not
Center
what I
field.
think, I'm throwing hands with Frank About Sports.
No, I mean, I'd love to troll, but it's Carlos Beltran all the way. And people forget that in that 06 series, Beltran actually had 3 home runs against the Cardinals, so they act like he did absolutely nothing. That's
He was
totally
in St.
false.
Louis.
No,
It doesn't count.
His OPS was above 1,000, so take that, Lindor. And also, even afterwards, when he was with the Cardinals in 2012, he also was a big part of why they were able to go far. So whether it was before the Mets, with the Mets, after the Mets, Carlos Beltran was really good in the postseason his whole career. So give me Beltran.
I have my narrative. My new narrative is set with Lindor and Beltran now. Because obviously both suck year one, and I'm going to compare Bryce Harper in this narrative too. Bryce sucked year one, but year three, they should have won MVP. They both, Harper and Beltran were MVP candidates. So year three of Lindor are going to be dangerous. Narrative.
I think all I'm imagining is that meme of the guy with like all that shit like like mapping out crap. All right,
Metro.
Center field for TonyMetro.
This guy played center field for parts of his career, so you could tell me if this doesn't count.
You play him wherever you want. This is your team.
Okay. Ricky Henderson. Putting him in center.
Okay.
Get my leadoff guy. All-time stolen base leader.
He's team building now. He's not just picking the best
That's my
player.
guy.
There you go.
Okay, Ricky Henderson. Center field for me, one of the greatest players of all time. Probably could have been even better if he wasn't a drunk. Mickey Mantle. I mean, part of the Yankees team is building the dynasty. You know, you can make that little case that, you know, diversity was not in the game yet, but hey, it's not their fault. So Mickey Mantle possibly could have been maybe top 5 all time, top 10 all time. Probably is already if he wasn't a drunk. Go ahead.
Very overrated.
Andrew,
MLB
right
show
field.
though.
Oh, crap.
Guys,
All right, I'll
gonna
take that
swing-
back. Hold on, wait.
Swing trash. What do you got?
I'll take that back. Center field, give me Juan Lagares.
100%.
Andrew, right field.
All right. I have to be a homer here because I am a Philadelphia Phillies fan, and I know this guy has not gotten a lot of play in the playoffs, but he's my favorite player of all time. Give me my dude Bryce Harper. Even the tiny amount he's been in the postseason, his batting average is bad, but he hit some big homers. And guess what? In this lineup, he hit 7 in my lineup. He can come up with a clutch, maybe 7th inning homer, quick little solo shot. Bryce got that power. And Bryce could be sneaky. Yes. Is he going to lead the Phillies to a World Series? Damn right. Him and Zach Wheeler and Michael Conforto are going to beat the Mets up all the time and win a World Series. Let's go Phillies. That is totally getting clipped.
And when that does happen, I'm just going to sit here and scream at all of you.
Bryce Harper's
Frank,
elite.
right field.
We know Bryce.
Yeah, this is a really easy one. Give me Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. So, I mean, you talk about postseason. How could you not have Reggie Jackson in that lineup?
All-time
Another
leader in
overrated
strikeouts.
MLB The Show card.
Yikes.
Oh, my God.
Bad defense.
All-time leader in strikeouts, man.
Dingers when it matters. You can strike it all you want. Hit me dingers when it matters. It's okay.
Gonna cost you a Trent Grisham error though.
You got Mr. October and you got Mr. November. Too. Wow.
Okay. Got these. All right, Metro. What do you got? Right field.
Give me the modern day Mr. October, Randy Arozarena.
Randy.
That's not a bad shout.
If we're
That is
talking
not a
purely
bad
postseason numbers, this guy has owned it the last 2 years. I mean, I would have went with Reggie Jackson, but for the sake of mixing it up, I'm going with Randy.
Solid. I totally forgot that mother effer named Randy.
All right.
Another
Randy's a
overrated
good
MLB.
one.
Why are all these guys all overrated MLB The Show cards?
Randy is a good one. Let's see. Reggie Jackson's a good one. But again, I'm lacking a little leadership here. You got a little crazy guys. You got some drunks. You got a little, quiet guys. Some quiet Michael Conforto type of guys. So I need a little bit of leadership. Give me Roberto Clemente in right field. Yes, sir. Didn't get to finish his career, but would have been nice. All right. DH, the designated hitter. Do we want to add this? Because we're going all fashion. All right. Andrew.
I mean, this is
DH.
The newest Hall of Famer, Barry. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the actual Hall of Famer. Oh, yeah, give me David Ortiz. Give me at least one of the guys who's on steroids that actually showed up in the postseason. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I was talking about anybody specifically, but give me Big Papi.
Hit Billy Wagner, boy. All right. Frank, DH.
Yeah, I had the same exact guy, David Ortiz. I mean, when it came to the postseason, this guy, like I said in my video, he really was next level. And in that last, Red Sox World Series won in 2013, in the World Series itself against St. Louis Cardinals, you want to talk about batting average? This guy hit 688. How do you not have on the post? You can use whatever metrics you want. A 688 batting average. That is indisputable. You lucky or not. And he was hitting the ball hard, so it was no fluke. I mean, David Ortiz, when it comes to postseason, he was that dude.
He brings no defensive value.
He's a DH, fool! What's the whole point of a DH?
He wasn't that bad at first, like the beginning of his career, but like,
yeah,
steroids are a hell of a drug.
Steroids are a hell of a drug.
Yikes! All right,
TonyMetro,
DH.
Well, this is a small sample size because he only made the postseason once, but playing within the parameters, if you
Mookie disagrees.
extrapolate it out, amazing numbers and an amazing Met, Carlos Delgado.
Ooh,
Carlos Delgado.
Only
All
played
right.
one postseason, 2006 with the Mets, 4 home runs.
Mookie, that's not a
11
bad pick,
RBIs.
bro.
That's a good
Mookie.
pick. It's an underrated player.
Good player. Oh yeah.
Not that bad of a player. Okay, the final one. Pitcher. Who's your starter?
You're just gonna.
Man, Carson, who's your guy?
Yeah, you're just not gonna.
Oh, whoops.
Oh no.
Frank Thomas, give me the big hurt. Let's do it. Yes, sir. Huge on the White Sox teams. Hit
Huge,
tanks.
literally.
That's all we care about.
Literally huge.
Huge. Very huge.
Very huge.
One of the steroid speculation guys, but
That's a hell of a drug. But now he has that commercial, that testosterone thing, so he was just taking that.
Yo, give him. Yeah, give him.
suspected of steroid, wasn't proven, but he hit dongs. So
He hit
that's all that
dongs.
matters. I need someone in the middle of the lineup because I got a few of disciplined guys. I need somebody who can hit a dong or two. Andrew, starting pitcher, fate of the universe on the line, Game 7 of the World Series. Who
Aliens
are you
got the
taking
beam.
on the mound?
Alien got the laser beam, the beam of death pointing on her. Give me Iguodala. No, I'm gonna get kind of like how Metro went with a guy with a small sample size, but I need a dog mentality. As the chat, loving them dog mentality, and I'm gonna go with a dog. But I want this dog having hair. I know he's better without hair, but I need my dog's hair back. Give me Jacob deGrom. Beam on the line.
Yeah.
Nobody get. This man's a robot. He don't got no pressure. You just give him the ball and to get the hell out of his way. Jacob deGrom.
Are you sure he's a good enough postseason pitcher? Are you sure he can handle that
He did
pressure?
have a 280 RA. That's not great. 288.
Not
so
great.
we want that lower, but
All right.
even though it was better
Jake
than Madison Bumgarner's,
deGrom.
but just saying,
All right. Who are you putting on the mound? Who are you giving the ball to, Frank?
This is so easy. It's Madison Bumgarner. I mean, you want to talk about ERA in 2014, a 0.43 ERA in 21 innings, pitching on short rest, whether it was starting, whether it was relieving. Madison Bumgarner is that guy in the postseason. He has been his whole career. Obviously, as Met fans, we know wild card game. So Madison Bumgarner's got to be on the mound in the Game 7.
What a casual take. I mean, geez, what a casual take. All right.
dude, it's Sierra's back,
Tony.
man, Frank. Come on.
I love the Kershaw and Bumgarner trolling. That's so much fun. Okay.
All right, Metro, death beam pointing at the universe. Who's got Game 7?
Who are you giving the ball to? Who do you trust?
It would have been Bumgarner, but that was Frank's choice. So I'll go with new Met, Max Scherzer. Obviously, got the dog mentality that we're all talking about in the chat right now.
I don't know. I am not catching up on that joke.
I don't
but
know
hey,
what is going on. I just see
I
dog
don't even know how that started.
Guys.
I don't think any of us said that.
I don't know.
I don't know where that came from.
Dogs are superior to cats, so
100%. Cats suck,
Sure.
bro. Dogs are way better.
dogs or cats. Chat. Let us know.
Yeah. Fact. Yeah. What are you a dog person?
And I'm
I
also
know that they got that cat mentality. Lindor,
And I'm also taking-
You know what I mean?
ooh, Lindor. Now, McNeil definitely has that cat
Neil got a
mentality.
cat mentality, 100%.
Carlos Beltran, maybe a little cat mentality, man.
I
Didn't
will
swing the
fight
bat.
you. I will hit you with a freaking scissor kick.
I was 4 years old, dude. I was 4 years old
He's
when
still
that
like
happened.
4 years old.
Yeah, he's got a Booker to you.
Well, Booker T, your ass.
Listen. Right over the plate, man. Swing at it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm also taking Max Scherzer. Too easy, man. I need a dog. As we've talked about. A dog.
A dog.
Max Scherzer. I'm giving that man the ball. Not just because not just because he has a good postseason track record, just because he will push those innings, keep going and keep going. He goes 7. He's like, okay, we're going to take you out. No, I'm going 8. I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping it going. He's going to pitch the entire. He's going to pitch the entire game. Now, DeGrom, I love you, DeGrom. Please be healthy, but Scherzer's just another level of insanity. So there are our winner go home lineups. Let me. What now?
Oh, nothing.
What now? What am I missing?
You're
What's
missing
happening
a lot.
now?
You're missing nothing. Just keep going.
Okay. I think I can pull them up on the
Now,
screen, and everybody can tell us.
Picking whose team will you trust in to win this game 7? I will not.
Let me bring up
the show because I don't have.
now Elias and Hayden's. Maybe we'll get those later. This graphic will be posted
On Twitter.
on our Twitter. But this is what we got here. I don't know if I spelled anything
Since
wrong.
we have time and Carson has no life, let's make it in a lineup order. Let's make Carson do some work here. Let's line him up.
You know, you're a dick. All right, who you leading off, Andrew?
Oh,
All right, so
God.
lead it off against Springer Dingers. We gotta have that spark
Okay.
plug, quick bombs, leading it off.
All right.
Again, I have it all written down, so you don't. I got it written down, so you're good. Number in the 2 spot again. Give me Murph. Again, Springer leading it off. Murph, can you give me a good AB? Give me a single again. More pop power. Give me that Murph in that 2 spot. Batting third, we gotta go Pujols. Gotta put the machine hitting third. You know, gotta get that power bat right in. Murphy hits the double. Pujols 2-run homer. It's up 3-0. Best scenario. Batting cleanup. Gotta get me a switch hitter in there. Got to go with my boy Beltran. Again, cleaning up Albert Pujols. I just realized I put Pujols in front of Beltran. That's nightmare fuel. Bringing back some dark memories. But okay. Did not realize that until I wrote it down. Then we're putting Big Papi in the 5 spot.
Okay.
We're doing the Luis Rojas. We got to get that lefty-righty switch hitter balance.
The 5 spot, you said. Okay.
Then we go on Carlos Correa. Then we go on Carlos.
Carlos Correa. All right. Right after Ortiz.
Right after Big Papi. So now we got to go with a lefty. We're gonna go Bryce.
Is there anywhere I don't have to switch these, and I can just Jesus Christ, you're killing me here.
And then we put Johnny Bench, then Pablo Sandoval.
Okay, and then Jacob DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom's
all right.
Pitch, yeah, DH.
All right, we'll put S here. Whoops. All right. Something like that there. Okay. You got a lineup in.
Yeah, I'm just having. I feel like I'm missing somebody when I'm writing it down. Though I can't figure out who I'm missing. I don't know why. Oh, I see it. Copy. Okay. Yes, all right. My lineup is ready to go. Leading off, Jose Altuve. Got to have the little guy get on base, get the team rolling, get moving around a little bit for the big power hitters. Even though Altuve, like I said, has got plenty of power himself, most home runs for second baseman in the postseason. So I have Altuve leading off. Behind him, Derek Jeter. I need a contact guy that could, move him over. Again, also a guy could get on base, make things happen on the bases. So give me Jeter in that 2-hole. Number 3, old traditional number 3 here, Pete Rose. You gotta love hits. This way, again, we're just loading up those bases every time around. This way, when the big boys come up, there is plenty of RBI opportunities. So cleaning them up is Babe Ruth. You got it. I mean, how could you not have the Babe? And then what?
Another no defensive value player.
Yeah,
decent player.
He's all right. Then to split up the lefty, because this lineup has so many lefties, I'm gonna have Pujols bat 5th.
Okay.
And then after Pujols, give me Reggie Jackson batting 6th. And
That's stacked.
He's buried Beltran. What a
exactly. I have no choice. I love Beltran, but
you got him buried.
I know Big Papi's got hit 7th.
Jesus.
Beltran.
Man, he's got some.
And he calls himself a Beltran fan. This guy got buried in the postseason.
But I'm also realistic. I'm trying to win this game. I care about rings. Beltran hits 8th, and Yogi Berra best 9th.
All right, interesting. I don't even know how I'll configure
you got
my lineup. I'll probably do that off stream, to be honest. Ooh, yeah, I'll do that off stream because I've not even thought about that at all. I think we'll get a few questions from the chat about our New York Mets if you want us to answer those. Other than that, we're gonna cut it short. But
you don't gotta ask. You can ask about other things if you want. I mean, it's the three of us. I think there's some Knicks questions if possible if you want. But no, we're on Mets show.
I don't know.
If you got anything, fire away.
I don't like the Knicks. Let's see.
So fire away if you got any questions. Think about it. Now, this is where you can get very angry because all of us hate each other. So now we will get good arguments going. So just ask us some spicy questions.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Why does this guy... I don't want to see this man's name until the lockout is over with. I am sick and tired of seeing this man's name for the most mid player I've ever freaking seen. Jesus Christ. I don't want to see his name until he's traded or opening day.
All right. Here's the thing about McNeil. All right. That's about it. That's all I got.
That's the only shit we give about him. Frank, go defend.
I think we've talked about this so many freaking times.
And there's been
but just this aspect alone. Like, do you think it actually affected his performance or not really? What happened?
I think the space.
I mean, as for me, I'd say that McNeil was kind of a ticking time bomb, even all the way from the second half of 2019. He his approach was like he'd go back and forth with things. He wasn't comfortable with a lot of things after, he got his all-star thing. So I feel like it was probably going to be bound to happen. I was a little blind to it, I'd say. Maybe like going like, I don't know, mid. But like you kind of could see it coming. Do I see him bouncing back? He probably will bounce back, but in my opinion, he just doesn't fit into this type of lineup. I just don't see it. That's just me. I don't know.
All right, Frank, defend your second favorite player.
I mean, I think I hope it had some impact because I don't want to think that the guy just sucks. Like I want to feel like I want to use all the excuses possible. I think the hamstring was probably a bigger deal because he did change the batting stance in Tampa. Wasn't the same guy, so he missed some time. It's hard to get the rhythm going, especially because he was starting to get hot right before that injury happened. And then, the Lindor thing happened. That obviously didn't help. And I just think that I feel like both with him and Lindor, it's like once you get off to a bad start to the season, sometimes it's hard to recover because just like you get in a slump. And then, again, McNeil's biggest enemy was himself and just feeling that he was unlucky and he couldn't really find a way to snap out of it. Maybe Eric Chavez could help with that. Maybe Buck Showalter could help with that. I hope so. But I just think that it's extremely important that Lindor gets off to a good start, more importantly, because if he doesn't, he's going to get booed, and I don't know if he'll be able to bounce back from that. But if Lindor can get off to a good start and he's getting cheered, then he probably should be okay for the rest of the season. So I'm just curious to see. I feel like the beginning of the season might tell you everything when it comes to those two guys because I worry more about their mental makeup than their physical makeup and the kind of talent they have because I know what they could do. It's just can they do it? Will their mind allow them to do it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so sick and tired of being like, if this can happen, or if this can happen, if all these pieces fall in the right place. We're Mets fans. We know they never do. They never fall in the right place. And, again, like we've said, I'm not completely happy about letting Conforto go, and I would have preferred him over Marte, but Marte, he has those types of things that he helps in this lineup, and I see where they were trying to go with that, so I'm okay with that. But it's like, how many of these guys in the lineup are you going to bring in that kind of lack this versatility where they don't do everything to help you win ball games like Javier Baez does and like Lindor can do, but I don't know. I just don't see this as enough. That's That's what I see. I see a lot of downgrades, in my opinion, but maybe they'll prove me wrong. I'm never really that wrong ever, but
In a McChicken bounce back, offense is elite.
you have to be good to bounce back, though. That's the
Hey,
crazy
276 batting average. If we can get McChicken back hitting 260.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does have a good season, to be honest. Wouldn't be surprised, because why not? Baseball's fucking ridiculous.
Offensive
but
catches.
yeah.
So.
Ooh, this is a good one. I like this.
Come on, give us some spicy.
Next ace behind.
I think we
on the
it.
Mets.
Yeah, we answered
on the Mets or in baseball. We may have answered this already. Tyler McGill is the correct answer.
That is the wrong answer. Is literally anyone not named Tyler McGill.
You talk a lot of shit, but hey, you're gonna look really stupid, man. I'm gonna make.
Well, I hope I do, because if I look stupid, then Tyler McGill's a Cy Young candidate. Jeff McNeil wins the batting title. Pete Alonso's the MVP. So prove I want to look stupid, but I know I'm not going to. So
I'm telling you, you really don't want to test me. You don't want to test me. I'm warning you. I'm warning you that you do not want to test me.
Chamber out, bro. We fight.
All right.
Get the
All right. Let me go to. We asked you guys on Twitter as well. Any other questions? We'll grab one or two from that, and then we'll pretty much wrap it up.
Argument, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
As the Penguins still have no.
Ooh. Okay, well, we kind of touched up on this, but I guess some people were for it, some people were against it. Let's talk about where the Mets should aim post-lockout if it ever fucking ends. Should they sign Kershaw? I guess what we'll go here is I'm seeing Kershaw and Schwarber. We talked about Kershaw already. Should we prioritize pitching or a bat first off? Andrew, anything? Bat or pitching?
Yeah, just pitching. Because guess what? You can get offense at the deadline. And after this loaded draft, for me, again, I'm going to make a relievers video. Go get me a Deke. Go get me another give me a lefty. We need one lefty at minimum. Maybe go trade for Josh Donaldson and get Taylor Rogers too. Or go get me another high quality, Trevor May type, maybe guy I kind of like is a Joe Kelly, kind of just sneaky, another good arm to have in the, in that, again, because my thing is usually when Diaz pitches, Lugo's going to pitch. So I kind of want that second unit of when Diaz and Lugo aren't available, we need our closer and our 8th inning, 7th inning guys. So, and I don't want it goddamn to be Miguel Castro. So I'm upgrading there. So give me a guy again, Joe Kelly. I got my list. Hold up. Give me a sec. Again, Diekman, obviously the guy I've loved. I've said it all offseason. I want the Deke to be the loop replacement, but I wouldn't mind a Joe Kelly, even an Archie Bradley. Someone like that, fill in the rest of that bullpen, because again, everyone's like, oh, we've got guys like Drew Smith and Yenisey and all that. Guess what? Good teams have those guys in AAA for when they need them. I want a major league bullpen now, and then like Metsfan wants a major league starting rotation, I want a major league bullpen in the minor leagues. So guys like Drew Smith can sit down there, Sean Reed-Foley, Yenisey Diaz. Give me proven guys in the major leagues from day one. And then, there's going to be injuries. So then a Yenisey Diaz can come in and fill in some innings. Sean Reed-Foley, Drew Smith, guys like that. Give me those high-quality arms, and then give me some more depth in the rotation. Again, sign guys like Carlos Martinez, like cheap minor league spring training invite guys, with guys with upside with that Hefner can get his hands on to maybe mold into something, and just continue to do that. The bats you can get at the deadline. You can, again, especially adding the prospects, you can trade a couple of these guys out of here, some Doms and JDs. Try to get some more like Khalil Lee type deals where you just jump in a trade to try to just steal a prospect in a 3-team trade. Do kind of stuff like that. The bats you can find at the deadline if you need them. That's just how I see it. Just pitching.
Andrew, did you call Drew Smith a minor league reliever?
I did.
He's going to block you on Twitter for that.
Oh, he's going to block me on Twitter. Sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of Drew Smith, he is low-key a dick. Because when he was a nobody, he wouldn't sign for – he was a nobody in 2019 and he didn't sign. So Drew Smith can go – he's got
just burning bridges, boys. Let's just keep it going, man.
Nobody wants to be on the team, Drew Smith. His cutter's overrated. Kenley's got a better cutter.
Jesus Christ, man. Reverse racism. All right, Frank.
I mean, if you know me, you know I always lean pitching. But I do have one interesting, I guess, like kind of similar topic question. But who bats behind Alonso? Because I was thinking, like,
Baez.
If we're not holding a grudge of what we actually have, because look at the lineup. Like, if you had, let's say, I know this is a hypothetical: Brendan Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso. Who?
Yeah.
Jeff McNeil.
Yeah.
God's next greatest creation. Jeff McNeil's hitting behind him. Eddie Escobar. You know, you got your. I think the Mets are trying to do.
Cano. There you go, Cano.
But no, I think the Mets. I think they're trying. I think the Mets are looking at what the Braves did, and like they're just going with high quality guys over stars.
Wait, what about Eduardo Escobar?
RBI merch. Again,
I mean,
What's your RBI guy?
I like Escobar, but I mean, come on, let's not be.
And again, Frank, that's what the deadline's for. If the Mets need that another bat, that's what the trade deadline's for. And everyone's like, "Oh, you got to do it." I need to see this team on paper. So I kind of don't want, like, if they can steal Josh Donaldson for nothing, do it. But like, I don't want another huge bat now. I need to see what this team is right now on paper, and if they need that other bat after the reloading of the draft prospect pool with this upcoming draft, to be able to make a trade for. If once Jeff McNeil sucks again, give me a Ketel Marte, maybe potentially on the move, or I don't know who else, some other big, the Dodgers aren't going to trade anybody because they're going to be good. But like any of those upcoming big free agents at the deadline, or guys who maybe Marte gets hurt again, Brian Reynolds, like go save it for the deadline. I think I want to see this team on paper before you add another bat. Pitching is more important. Pitching wins you championships. Address the pitching. And then if you need that bat, like Cespedes in 2015, go get that other bat at the deadline. What I was going to say in an upcoming video, build a team in the offseason to be good enough to get to the All-Star break in the trade deadline. If you believe, as the Penguins score, if you believe in your team now and they play well throughout the first half, get to the deadline, and you believe, hey, this is the team that can go all the way, don't go make one trade like you did last year. Go do what good teams do, like the Dodgers. They made one trade, but they got Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. Go get that last piece. So that's just kind of how I see it. Build the team good enough to get to the first half, and then if you believe in it, reload at the deadline and get to the second half.
So you're saying trade for Trey Turner? He's already on Max.
I mean, shit, he's better than Jeff McNeil. So just imagine Turner, Nimmo, Marte at the top of a lineup. That's run creation.
It's a lot of RBIs to drive in.
That's a lot of RBIs
when you
to
think
drive
about
in.
it.
Well, I think depending on how long this lockout is, you might see a lot of guys rush and take 1-year deals, which would make them prime trade deadline.
And that gives you a big chance to load up your bullpen real quick too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, let's be real for a second. Like, you can get those 1-year deals. Like, you can get tons of Aaron Loop contracts. You know what I mean?
Not many relievers moved pre-lockout.
But the big one, Iglesias, Graveman. Kenley's the only big guy left. I guess you want to call him elite closer type. It's just Kenley. Everybody else is signed.
I'm not even looking at closer. I'm just looking at like you said, because there are those nights where Diaz can't pitch, Lugo can't pitch, whoever. You're going to need as many guys as possible. So whether it's the Deke or other people I can't read because I have my glasses on, I'm an old man. And,
his camera's just bugging out.
I mean, I also wrote it in pencil, so and I have this big ass bright light. So there's this video upcoming, but yeah, there's still plenty quality arms still out there. So you don't need to start your season with Yenisei Diaz and Drew Smith in your bullpen.
You don't need to take a shot of Yenisei.
I mean, Yenisei was nice. I mean, he showed spurts, but again,
he's still not getting it.
I know what you're. I know. Trust me. I'm a Henny god. I'm J.R.
Yenzi?
Smith. But still,
Yenisei Diaz.
I want to.
Yenzi or Yenisei? Chat, let us know which one. Yenisei or Yenzi?
Yeah, there's still quality. Colin McHugh. There was so many quality arms on the market right now.
Colin McHugh.
Let's get funky.
Colin McHugh is one arm that I'd love to have back. I'd love to bring that one back.
Can I throw 2 sneaky, out of nowhere, cheap 1-year deal guys at you? I'm giving away a little bit of my secret. Daniel Ponce de Leon. Nobody knows who the hell that even is. Starter reliever.
I've seen him in MLB The Show. He played for the Cardinals, right?
Frank, shut up.
Cards. Yes. Or no, that's yeah.
But starter and reliever, again, does both. Love that. Andrew Miller. Get him cheap. Put him slider, and he's one of the best locker room guys out there, and the Mets have been big character guys so far. As a second lefty, not as the number one. Go get Diekman first, and then if you can get Andrew Miller on a cheap as your second lefty, I would feel very good as the they don't score.
If the Mets need a lefty that throws a bunch of sliders, just use Brad Hand.
Good slider, not a BP slider.
Washed.
Hey, he's an all-star.
Yeah, that guy.
All right.
If you want to say Brad Hand is cooked, okay, but Talon Walker is not cooked. Two different situations.
Brad Hand is deep fried. Okay,
He's done. Deep fried hand.
He's done. All right. If Sandy invests in him, all right,
Sandy
and he doesn't do well,
listen. Sandy also,
and he gives up some cookies, then
all
that's a lost
the
cause.
more you think about it, Sandy Olsen was pretty brutal. It
Hey,
really
got you
was.
to
I mean, if Trevor Bauer indeed signed the contract that Sandy Olsen put on the table for him, Mets would be pretty screwed.
I mean, not really. Mets play with unlimited funds, so like even the Lindor contract isn't that bad. We playing with monopoly money. It don't matter. It don't matter. We are playing.
And that's why I said, okay, go for Kershaw, because you can get those cheap guys in the bullpen. Like, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, go ahead, man. And then you could maybe trade some other guys the deadline. Again, like he said, get a team that can survive to the All-Star break and doesn't want to kill each other. That's about it. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Unless there's anything else. I don't think so.
I mean,
No?
yeah, Mets watch and has been dead forever.
Rest in peace, Kenny
Appreciate
Stabler,
it.
man. Thanks, man. From the grave. Raider legend. All right. Yeah, that's about it. So I guess we'll closing remarks here. Andrew, what do you got here? Even though you've hinted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've hinted a lot. Hopefully the Penguins can clutch out this night, and the Rangers lose, and the Pens take over first place in the Metropolitan. Besides the point, upcoming videos, yes. Upcoming videos, again, the third base rankings, because those did well, so I'm going to continue to pump those out, because I don't care about you. I don't care what you nerds say. I don't care. You're never going to change my mind. Go suck a
Let's see if he gets the message.
It's the full promo. I don't care. I'm not putting prospects who have played less than a 2020 season in my top 10. No, I'm not a fucking idiot. But those are coming out. Now you can go back, get the rest of the boys on the screen.
All right.
Obviously, there's probably going to be a lot more Rangers streams because those were fun. Obviously, the Pens and Rangers don't play until the end of next month, like the month for today, actually. Yes, 30 days from today. The Pens, but we'll do probably one of those once a week, just having fun, watching the game. Again, hockey content, I'm going to make a Pens video probably tomorrow. The Pens didn't make a random extension, which didn't see that coming. But again, once the Giants hire Ryan Dable, there'll be a Giants video. So again, like I said, baseball, the reliever video, just everything you're going to get from me. I'm not pigeonholing myself anymore. So it's just expect the unexpected. If you see something in your sub box, don't be surprised. And maybe I'll start.
All right.
Maybe.
Frank about sports.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you might have no choice but to open up horizons because, I mean, right now the news is dwindling, so to speak. I mean, pretty soon we're gonna be hitting that real low part of the year where February, especially if there's no spring training, there isn't too much going on. So definitely gonna have to try to be creative and hopefully get some stuff out. But thank you guys for watching as always.
All right. Well, yeah. Another great stream, Mets Weekly. Guys, I do have a little bit of stuff to talk about. If you guys don't remember, December of 2019, I did a rankings video of the New York Mets roster.
Where you shit on
basically demonetized my entire channel. Yeah. So I had to take it down. But part 2 is currently in the works. I'm not saying anything is completely done right now, but we're mapping it out right now. So it will be 26-man roster this time. 25. No one would get out of my ass for that. So, yeah. So look forward to that. I might have that maybe a few weeks before when spring training is supposed to start. We'll see what happens. I'm a busy guy. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us for Mets Weekly tonight. Thank you to Tony and Hayden who had to go early. Elias, who was not here, You guys make sure to go follow him as well. Subscribe to his channel. All of our links are in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. Join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter for all the information for our next streams and some polls and all of that stuff. And guys, we'll see you guys most likely next week. LFGM.